and I were really lucky to go out to Sandals in Antigua and St. Lucia in June. I don't know if many of you've been. I had been to one before, but it was a long time ago, and it was in Jamaica. So it was just a bit of a refresher, really. And I don't think you'd been, had you, Lindsay?
No, first time.
Also, it's a bit first for you. So, okay, so we'll go through and just to give you a bit of an update on what we learned whilst we were there. Okay. That's not good because my slides won't move. Hold on. Well, that's not a good start, is it, guys? Lindsay, have you got the presentation up?
Yes.
Oh, there. Sorry, we're there. A little technical hitch, but we're there. Okay, so just to give you a bit of an idea on where Sandals have got locations, as you can see, we've got the Bahamas. Jamaica is quite a massive one for them. They kind of refer to Jamaica as South Coast. So if you're speaking to the guys in Res, you may hear them saying that. Antigua, St. Lucia, Barbados and Grenada. So really fabulous destinations. So as I say, we're just going to focus today really on Antigua and St. Lucia because they're the ones that we've been to and have got up-to-date knowledge at the moment. Just to give you an idea, we flew with Virgin to Antigua initially. It's an 8.5-hour flight. And as you can see on there, I've just put a note for yourself, just to be aware that the Virgin flight to Antigua and St. Lucia is on an old Air Berlin aircraft. It's obviously rebranded Virgin, but it's not quite a Virgin aircraft. They're keeping those flights to actually Jamaica. They're just keeping those in. So would there be anything you would say that was particularly different or noticeable, Lindsay, on that particular Air Berlin aircraft?
No premium economy.
Right, so that is something to bear in mind because it's an 8.5-hour flight, and I think the whole experience of Virgin is what people like to do. So it is just worth bearing in mind when you're speaking to the guys on Res to just check what is the aircraft type. Is it an ex-Air Berlin? Quite comfortable aircraft, no problem, plenty of leg room and stuff like that, but it just didn't have the same Virgin feel, I didn't think.
The service was just as good though, and you can, if your customers do want premium economy, you can opt for a BA flight.
Yeah. And just to add on to that, obviously we've got different, people from all over the kind of UK as our PTAs, but they are using the Thomas Cook service as well. So you've got from Manchester to Antigua on a Wednesday, and St. Lucia on a Thursday. So, it's really fantastic. Are you having problems hearing me? Somebody? No?
No.
Oh, okay, fine. All right then. Okay, so just bear in mind the Thomas Cook service. Obviously, our great fans of Thomas Cook, and if we can use them, then that would be fab. Okay, so, well, what is Sandals all about? Obviously, it's a very, very lovey-dovey couples resort. They are 5-star, extremely all-inclusive, and it is luxury. One thing you do need to know, and I don't know when they're going to change this, but I think they need to, they don't really allow single-sex couples, and they're not LGBT friendly. And that's something I think does need to change. And I kind of, wonder when that will happen, because if you think about it, the market they're missing out on is absolutely huge. The image on the right there is actually Sandals Antigua when we arrived, which was absolutely stunning. So it is just something to bear in mind on that one. Okay, these are the images of where we stayed. So you've got top left was Antigua, which was really nice, quite small, but had everything that could be catered for. To the right, you've got Le Toc in St. Lucia, which is their kind of upmarket prestige resort. Bottom left, you've got the Halcyon. And then on the right, you've got the Grand St. Lucian, which to me felt like the biggest of them all. They all do have a bit of a different kind of look and feel, really. Anyone for you, Lindsay, that you thought was your favourite?
If you've got quiet customers that don't like all singing or dancing, definitely the Halcyon. Definitely.
Yeah.
If you want someone that wants the best beach, Antigua had the best beach. And the Grand St. Lucian, I would say, is the best for someone that wants the all action, something going on all the time.
Yeah, It was very lively. The guys are struggling to hear you, Lindsay. I'm not sure. Are you on a mobile?
Oh, really? No, I'm on the computer. Hang on.
That's why. It's probably better if you dial in on your phone.
Yeah, let me dial in on my phone. Hang on.
Okay, and I'll just talk through. I mean, what Lindsay was saying there, I would kind of echo, to be fair. The quieter resort really, I believe, was Antigua, where it was quite exclusive, quite small. My personal favourite was the Halcyon, as Lindsay said. It just had a bit of a kind of, I don't know, more comfortable feel for me personally. The Grand St. Lucian was absolutely madness. It was crazy, all singing around the pool, bands on in the middle. You know, they always have these Sandals kind of atriums in the middle of the pool. There were bands singing at lunchtime and stuff like that, and it was very, very loud. And very, very
Can you hear me now?
That's better, I think, yeah.
Is that better?
That's better. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, so let's have a look next. Now, we were all really lucky, actually, to have sampled the butler service in one or the other accommodations. Now, this was quite amazing, really. I mean, these images to the left there of the kind of sunbeds in the pool, that was actually my room. So that was my pool with a jacuzzi as well, and that was just an image of the beach in Antigua. But let me just tell you what you get on a butler service. We are going to just give you a bit of a top line on prices as well, just to give you an idea of the different categories and what you're expecting to pay. Okay, so the Butler Elite at Sandals Antigua, it does start as soon as you arrive. So this beautiful chappie here was pouring me a glass of champagne just as I arrived into my room, which was very welcome, to be fair. Can't believe we don't do that in all hotels, but there you go. Uncompromising attention to detail, and they really do. I'm talking about they know your name, they remember you. So if you're around the pool, they'll call you Karen, they'll know who you are, they'll know which room you're in. It really is an ultimate experience. In fact, so ultimate, I've named it twice, so there you go. You are pampered throughout, from unpacking your suitcase if you wish to packing your suitcase. I personally didn't take them up on that, just because that's not me. I'm sure the Americans probably have them ironing stuff for them to wear and doing all kinds, but I don't think it's quite for the Brits, to be fair. But anyway, people will do what they want. The in-room drinks include bottles of champagne, and when I say full-size spirit bottles, I'm talking of litre-sized bottles of rum, brandy, gin, vodka, fridge full of drinks, top-ups, nibbles, what have you. Really was fantastic. You get bathrobes, slippers, and a roll-down service in the evening. Access to the club lounge, which is a really nice place. It's gorgeous and cool. They've got a TV on in there if you want, or some drinks, or if you just want to go and chat to the concierge guy. And I even had a bathroom for me, which was quite nice. But in the 90-degree heat, it probably wasn't quite what I needed. But there you go. The offer was there. Other things they do, I mean, fancy having a sunbed reserved for you in the pool, they'll do that. Flip-flops, if you've lost them, they'll find them, put them where you need them. There's my lovely hot bubbly bath with a heart in the background there and some lovely petals around the side, and a little friendly elephant waiting for me when I went to bed. So you can see it really is a really nice experience. But, you know, it's not something that everybody would want, would be the full butler service. Then you've got the club lounge. Do you want to talk about the club rooms, Lindsay? Because I think you may have stayed in one of these.
Yeah, so basically the difference with the club room suite, so the lead-in rooms are luxury, which you get everything, but you don't get in your rooms the spirits. You only get wine, beer and soft drinks in your minibar. So that's the main difference with the club level. You also do not, on the luxury level, receive room service. So if your clients are wanting to have breakfast in bed, they need to go up to club level minimum. They will receive that from 7 till 10 p.m. at night. If it's butler service, it's 24-hour room service in some. But yeah, if they're wanting room service and they're wanting spirits in the rooms, they need to go up to club level. And the concierge is much better as well.
And as you can see, that's just a picture of us in the pool there having a drink. And the cabanas at the left of the screen, you can actually hire those for the day. I think were they about $100 to hire for the day?
Yeah, 100. Yeah, I think it was 115.
Yeah, so, you know, some people want to do that. But to be honest, I don't think there were many takers when we were there, Lindsay. Would you agree with that? They all seemed
no, not one was taken.
Yeah, so Okay, so that's that, and then obviously you've got your deluxe rooms. So again, like Lindsay said, there are some limitations because you're coming down a category, and as I said, they're not kind of all-inclusive because of what you get in your minibar and what drinks, and you can't pre-book restaurants. So, you know, it is kind of categorising, and I will show you a little bit later. When I say categorise, you really need to get to grips with what the categories are, certainly when you're speaking to the res guys, because there are a lot of categories. It was quite mind-blowing, to be honest, and we were stood in the rooms that they were talking about. So I'll just cover that off a little bit later for you. Okay, so as I said, the room types are key. So in the Grand Antigua, you've got 373 rooms with different categories of rooms. And as I say, you do need to get to the detail of what the categories are and where the room types are. So for example, they have like areas which are bungalows, water bungalows, smaller bungalows, main hotel, you know, swim-off rooms. So it's really important if your customer doesn't want to be in the main hotel, they want to be in a bungalow, that you're clear that the coding that you're using is correct for that. And, you know, we know what the codings are, but there are way too many to put on a slide. You'd be absolutely bored to death. The Regency Le Toc, which is their top-end hotel, 331 rooms with 22 categories, 9 restaurants, 8 bars. The Halcyon, now, I'll say, Lindsay and I, this was both our favourites, but you've got 169 rooms, but only 12 categories, and currently under quite a bit of renovation here. So some of the bungalows are really being done up really to a fabulous standard, and 7 bars, that was nice. The Grand St. Lucian, it says what it is, it was very grand. 311 rooms, 15 categories, 12 restaurants, and a hot dog cart, which is quite good fun, really. So I just put a little image there of the kind of things you can eat when you're there. The food is fantastic. No real buffet stuff. It is all kind of a la carte, waiter service, and, you know, just really quite nice. I think when we went for an Italian one night, the only element that was buffet was like a kind of table of starters that you could go and pick and mix with bits of salad and stuff like that. After that, it was all waiter service. Okay, 2 centres then. Now this, I think, is a real personal travel agent element that you can put into talking to your customers. We then flew from Antigua on a LIAC flight. As you can see, I put a picture of the aircraft there. I'm not a great flyer. So to me, this was like a bit of a scary one, but actually it was a brilliant flight, wasn't it, Lindsay? It was dead smooth. And, you know, in the 55 minutes with a full aircraft, we even got a cup of coffee, which was fantastic. The airport on arrival, because there were 2 at St. Lucia, we flew into the George F. Charles one, which is the smaller one, and you literally get off the plane, go through the gate, and you through. So it was very easy, that, wasn't it, Lindsay? There was no problem at all.
Yeah, they say if you're going to do a twin centre, to do Antigua first, because then you fly into the smaller airport in St. Lucia and it's only a 15-20 minute transfer, whereas if you do St. Lucia first, you have to do the long transfer to start with, so it is better to do Antigua first.
Okay, thank you. And I just put an idea on here. What I think is again, something for you to add in, and what would be my top tip would be suggest to people that they go and see the alternative accommodations in St. Lucia, because they are so different. They will be transported between, you know, the one they're staying at, the one they're going to, and brought back again. And it just gives you an opportunity to kind of sample something a little bit different whilst you're in the one location, different restaurant, you know, different feel. They all had a very different feel to them. So I just think this is a great opportunity, and I actually didn't realise you could do this. And they were all relatively close by, weren't they, Lindsay and St. Lucia? It's not a mega transfer to get from one to the other.
Another point to make is if you've got a wedding, say at the Grand St. Lucian, to make it cheaper for the guests, they can stay at the Halcyon Beach, and they can come to the wedding and obviously be there for the full day and not have any worries. So it just gives you flexibility for wedding groups to be able to suit different budgets. So you can do this in any of the resorts. You can stay and play at any of the properties with free transportation. I think it runs, did the transfers run till about 12 o'clock at night? 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I know it was quite late.
Yeah.
And then that gives you an opportunity to kind of experience the entertainment that goes on. I will touch on entertainment in a little bit, but I just think that's a great opportunity, and something that, you know, if you went into a high street travel agent, they wouldn't know that. They just wouldn't have, and they wouldn't have the confidence to kind of talk about that. So I think that's a real plus one for you to take on board.
Just to point out as well, not talking about St. Lucia and Antigua, but Barbados, they have the new Royal Bohemian Barbados. You can stay next door, which is the cheaper property, but use all the facilities of the brand new one, and it's within walking distance. So that is another big selling point for Sandals.
Real okay. I've already mentioned the drinks. I think we sampled. Well, we had to because we were there. We had to sample a few cocktails, and it is really nice watching the guys having fun making your cocktail up. And there was lists and lists of cocktails, some I'd never even heard of. So that was good. And as you can see, Johnny Walker Black Label, it's top end spirits. Appleton's rum. It really is the top end, which is what people are paying for, in fairness. But, when you look at some other all-inclusives, you think you've been poisoned by a gin and tonic. Well, you wouldn't here. So there we go. Okay, I put on there just a bit of an idea of what goes on during the day and during the evening, and a list of the restaurants and stuff. They do have a full programme of stuff going on. It's obviously all couples orientated, so they might have, I don't know, chocolate painting contests and things like that, all a bit odd, but there's stuff going on all day. The evening entertainment was very much, I would say, American style, where they have this Mr. and Mrs. programme, where they actually run it in every Sandals property, where they've got them up asking questions, what would you do if, and things like that. That was quite good fun. The Americans absolutely love that. I don't know whether it's that English, but it was good fun to watch, to be fair. And as you can see, loads and loads of places to eat. And the food is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. So
and they had fun. Live bands, didn't they? They had live bands, an Irish bar for when the entertainment finishes, so you can go and have a boogie. Martini cocktail nights, wasn't it? It was, the entertainment was good. It wasn't in your face, but you could go and choose a quiet bar if you wanted to, or you could be part of that. It was very good.
And they do some excursions as well if you wanted to go and just sample the island and stuff. Okay, so obviously on the water, lots to do. Just head for the beach. Obviously, there's quite a lot of the water sports are included. They do a really good kind of paddy extension where you can kind of finish off your paddy course. As long as you've done the accredited UK version, you can complete it out here. And if you look on the right there, there's actually quite an interesting story about St. Lucie, where the lionfish, they kind of appeared in this area after the tsunami many years ago, and basically they're destroying the coral. So what our guys did, I had to be the photographer, so obviously I couldn't go in. Lindsay went in, was actually go searching for lionfish, and they try and retrieve them every single day. And that was good fun, Lindsay. It looked good fun anyway from the boat.
Yeah. I don't know if I took to it very well, but never mind. I tried.
But they're so passionate, these guys, and they'll take beginners, they'll hold people's hand, get them into the water, and it is such a fantastic experience. And a lot of these things obviously are free of charge, and they're just included. And they really do encourage you to have a go and get into the water. It was a really, really great morning, that was actually, and of course, because it's early. At 6 in the morning, it's light. You can go out early and sample what's going on early in the morning as well. So great opportunity there for people who like to do activities.
Yeah, talking about the paddy, I was just going to say, if you do have any paddy divers that are already qualified, you get 2 dives a day. So it's free diving basically. So that is a big selling point, because that's a big saving.
Yeah, that would be quite expensive, wouldn't it, if you had to do that anywhere else, to be fair. Okay. Red Lane is their health spa and gym. And yes, there were people in the gym, very strange as it may be. But the Red Lane Spa is a really popular one. Faye Reid, who actually took us on the trip from Sandals, wanted to book herself some experiences when she was there and she couldn't get in. They do tend to book up when they arrive, and they do a lot of things in couples. So there's like joint massages and things like that. And they were really busy. Every single one we went into was very, very busy. So it is just a nice experience. You do have to pay. But if you're on that kind of holiday, you're going to want to treat yourself, have a nice massage or an Indian head massage or something like that. It is an indulgent holiday, so you would do something like that just to experience it. And, it's how romantic to have like a joint massage. I think it's quite nice, that is really. And that's just the kind of things they have on. Obviously, eucalyptus steam rooms, refreshments, private changing facilities. It really, really is top-end stuff. Okay, so weddings now. Obviously, I think sometimes the perception is that in Sandals weddings, you've kind of got one after the other after the other. I think they've changed that a little bit, and I think they had to really. So, Lindsay, what was your take on the wedding scenarios?
Okay, so basically, if you've got anybody that's interested in a wedding, if they stay 3 nights or more, they receive a free wedding. Also, which is what's here, which you can see, so they have to stick with these things. So if you've got someone that says, "Oh, I don't like orchids," basically they then give them £500 worth of credit. If they're staying 6 nights or more, and they can use that credit to tailor make to whatever they wish to have. But if you've got a couple that are wanting a budget wedding, they don't want to spend much more, this is perfect for them. So they receive the cake, they receive a table set for 8 people, and you get a 1-hour cocktail reception with drinks and cold hors d'oeuvres. And then they can choose to have a meal if they wanted, which I've just been quoted. It's as little as $18 for a sit-down 4-course meal. So $18 per person is not much when you compare it to a UK wedding, especially when they're getting a free wedding to start with. So yeah, I've just sold someone from Sri Lanka and the Maldives to St. Lucia. Because they have water bungalows and they have a over-the-water chapel. So she's just fallen in love. They've not booked yet, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it's going to be soon. And that's where her money is. She can see that instead of getting a rubbish water bungalow or a beach bungalow in the Maldives for only like 2 nights, she can stay in an overwater bungalow in Sandals, and they are amazing. So yeah, it's how you feel. Hello, can you hear?
Hello.
Yeah, sorry, it just went funny then. It's how you feel, how your couple is. I always had that impression that it would be people getting married in bikinis, not very intimate. We saw some intimate weddings, and I thought that basically you can choose exactly where you want to get married when you get out there. So if you wanted a more private affair, you could go and find the most private area to get married in. And they've got so many locations, haven't they, Karen? When we were there, we must have seen about 5 or 6 different locations. So yeah, my opinion of Sandals weddings has completely changed. So yeah, I think for anybody that's looking for a really nice property that's a bit different, everyone's in love there, so it's lovely. And for an hour after for the reception, they will allow that. Obviously, they can't stay at the property, but they will allow children in for the purpose of the wedding.
Yeah, it was nice, wasn't it, actually, that? And I think they also said that if people, obviously, because not everyone can afford to stay at Sandals, if you've got people staying at another property, they can come in and pay like a day rate to stay for the day, obviously, so they can use the facilities and get drinks and stuff like that. But there were so many variations on what they could do. I mean, I think they had about 30 different slides of just how they could dress up the chairs and tables, whatever theme you wanted. Like Lindsay said, if you didn't like those particular flowers, they would change them. You've got your own wedding coordinator, and there were quite a lot of wedding meetings going on when we were there, where the couple arrive, go and see somebody and just dot the I's and cross the T's, and it is very, very personal, which I like Lindsay, didn't think it would have been, to be fair. And, you know, if that's something you want to focus on, weddings in Sandals, then I'd wholeheartedly recommend it, because I think you will definitely get what you pay for. The Overwater Chapel at the Grand St. Lucian was absolutely gorgeous. So
there is a charge for that. It's $750 to have the Overwater Chapel, but that's only because it's something special, and it gets booked up really, really really quickly. So if your couples are looking at doing that, my wedding's for next November. There's no weddings booked at the minute for the day that they want, so thankfully it is available, but you do have to book early.
And that's just some of the idea of what the tables would look like, and everything is done to perfection. And then obviously the bride's got to get to the chapel, so there you go, the wedding chariot. Now obviously in some of the places, like if you went to Le Toc, it is quite a distance, so you definitely would use this. Probably in Antigua you could possibly walk, but I think I'd like to jump in that and have a little tour around the resort, to be honest with you, and let everybody see me. I think that's well cute. Okay. Just a little bit about some of the things that have changed at Sandals. We do have our own direct number, because Sandals now has been a tour operator in its own right for probably just approaching, I would say, 14, 15 months. So we've got our own dedicated number there. And also, if you can see on the screen, I don't know whether any of you have used this, but it gives you the opportunity to kind of just do a bit of a magic search, if you like, if people want to give an idea of what the pricing is like. I think that's quite good, actually. And I think if you can use it, then have a go, have a little play. If you haven't got your login, then just check with Ops and see what's going on there. But a really, really great tool, and the direct number does work particularly well. And it's good because you guys tend to pick up like a person that you liaise with all the time, or you'd want to talk to, because they get you and you get them. So that's probably well worth doing. Obviously, Sandals is on sale for 2020. So again, I think I know the deal has been reduced. I think we were talking yesterday, Lindsay, weren't we, about the offer of money off at the moment, come down a little bit.
Yeah, it was up to £200. But hang on, is that 150 per person? Oh, deposit. Yeah, the saving at the minute is up to £150 off. It was up to £200 off. But the money that you make on these, I think you could afford to give them the 50 to match it, to be honest, if they do change. But it's only £150 per person deposit, and they've got the flights on sale for 2020. And if they definitely want to look at any of the butler suites or weddings, they need to book now.
Great. Good stuff. Okay, and as we said earlier, they've got British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, and also the Thomas Cook flight. So there's plenty of opportunity there for people not to miss out, and it gives you the days they're flying on and stuff like that. So they do have great rates with those particular carriers as well. Point of sale. Now, I did check with Kiri on this. Obviously, we have a great suite of point of sale material for you to use, but Sandals are very, very helpful and really want to get to help you if you need any collateral. They do also do pop-up stands. I didn't put that on here because it was £65. I thought that was a little bit much. But if you want any collateral, Kiri's happy to help, and we can get some stuff going.
Do a free... the pop-up stand, that was for a personalised one, wasn't it? But if you want just a normal cardboard stand, they will send it out free of charge.
Yeah, so if you're doing wedding events or any events locally, it's worth having those because it does let you stand out from the crowd.
And they'll send you weddings brochures as well, just out in the post. They've just sent me some, so just give them a call.
Well, okay, lovely. And obviously, what's in it for you? Because that's what we want to know, because we all want to go to Sandals, but we want to go for free. And you can see there, I'm hoping that you're all in the scheme to get 3 nights, etc. Butler category, you get 3 nights. Club, you get 2, and any other, you get 1 night. And it's quite easy to build up. They do have like a kind of super elite club as well, where you can go into, get certain things if you do 15 bookings a year, which would be absolutely fabulous, what they will do for you. But they are very, very trade friendly and very supportive of us, and they absolutely love us as personal travel agents. So, there's certainly something in it for you to go for there. This is a team, obviously agency sales. And what I was going to say, actually, if you ever need to use any images, pictures, live pictures, I have put the educational reports on Tavern. So have a look and then just snip the picture, copy and paste it or whatever, because they are actually live pictures that we took when we were there. So that's worth knowing. Obviously, we have Faye and possibly a few others. It depends where you are in the country, but they are a very, very supportive bunch of people and totally passionate about their product. Faye Reid, who came with us, has actually been with Sandals 11 years, so that's really quite good. If you think in the rep world, they do tend to jump about a little bit, and I know Neil's been there for a long time, and I'm sure the other guys have as well, so a really good supportive team there. And that's it from Lindsay and I. So has anybody got any questions? They want to unmute themselves or type into the box, but we do appreciate you coming on the call and hope that you've picked something up today.
There's something that I wanted to say. Even if you've not booked any sandals, you can stay for $250 per night per room. So you just have your flights to go on top. So if you just want to try it, it's still quite a good offer.
Yeah. Is that just for agents, that offer then?
Yeah.
That's for us, it's like a concession if we wanted to do that ourselves.
Yeah, concession is $250 a night. So you would have your flights to go on top, which Andrea Gilbert was there and she'd found some flights for about $579 each. So it worked out at $250. That's for a room for 2 people. If you've got children, it's an extra $125 a night for them.
At the beaches.
So that's obviously beaches. Yeah, it's exactly the same price on both Sandals or beaches. Yeah, so I was going to look at doing it, but I'm waiting for my booking to book first.
Yeah, I've got one booking with 1 night, so that would be good to add it, top it up.
Yay!
Yeah. Yay. You need a butler one now. Get 3 nights.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there any other questions? If anybody's got any problems with room types and they just do not know, then please just give me a ring, because we've got sheets from every resort that we went to, so all of them in St. Lucia and Antigua, and it describes each room, and we can remember exactly where they are as well. So if you really struggle, because there are different places where those rooms will be located, so if you've got anybody with mobility problems or anything like that, just let us know, and we'll be able to tell you exactly where they are.
Brilliant, thank you. Any more for any more, or are we done? Lovely. Well, listen, thanks for joining, guys. As I say, I will uplift it onto Tavern and to YouTube. So thank you very much. Have a fabulous afternoon. Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.